How to understand Jesus' answer about paying taxes. You will discover the bigger picture behind the story. In this video, you will find out the crooked ways the Pharisees tried to discredit Jesus. Stay with me and watch the entire video, and you will find out the craftiness behind this question. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? And you will find out also about taxes and why the Jews of those times were upset about a particular tax called the poll tax or the head tax. And finally, we will discover the uniqueness of Jesus' answer. I am Father Feroz Fernandez, and thank you for being on this channel and watching this video. And I welcome you on this channel. And if you haven't subscribed, I invite you to hit the subscribe button, press the notification bell, give me a like, write your comments in the section below, and if you can, share this video with others. And if you can do it, all of them together, great. Thank you. And without wasting time, let's start. What's happening? What's the big story? Now, Jesus attacked the temple leadership by turning over the money changers' tables. The Jewish leaders confronted Jesus, asking him to prove his authority. Jesus rebutted the Jewish leaders, asking them a simple question: is the baptism of John coming from God or from men? And the Jewish leaders failed to give a very clear, definitive answer. And Jesus went ahead and told them these three powerful parables: the parable of the two sons, the parable of the weaker tenants, and the parable of the wedding garment. The Jewish temple authorities realized that Jesus has humiliated them through these three parables in front of the witnessing crowds. So they set out to trap Jesus. It's like the Pharisees doing a counter attack on Jesus. And they wanted to discredit Jesus in front of the crowds or make him the enemy of Rome. How did the temple authorities do it? How to understand their attempt to discredit Jesus? In course of reading Matthew, we discover three traps. This video is about the first trap. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? But the second trap is by the Sadducees. Whose wife will she be in heaven? And the third trap is, which is the greatest commandment? After Jesus had successfully dealt with the questions, Jesus denounces the scribes and Pharisees in Matthew chapter 23 verses 1 to 36. Now, take care not to use this first trap question to address the issue of the church and state. It can be helpful, but the main point of this story is commitment to God. Don't be like those religious leaders who claim religious authority and fail to obey God. Now, do you want to know the crooked ways of the temple authorities? It was a planned attack. It appeared tactical, but it was more cowardly. The Pharisees wanted to avoid an unsuccessful attempt to discredit Jesus. So they sent in their disciples. If their disciples win, it will enhance their reputation. If the disciples fail, the Pharisees would not be embarrassed in front of the crowds. Now you may ask, why did the Pharisees join hands with the Herodians? The Herodians were supporters of Romans, and the Pharisees did not like Romans. There was a direct conflict of interest between these two groups. Yet they came together to attack Jesus and stop Jesus' growing popularity. What was the tactic the Pharisees used to discredit Jesus? It was flattery. They said, "Teacher, you are honest and you teach ways of God, and you are not partial to anyone." And why did they use this tactic? They did not want themselves to be alienated from the crowd by denying Jesus' special status. They wanted to win over the crowds. Secondly, they used flattery so that Jesus may lower his defenses and become vulnerable. What is behind this crafty question? Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? It's a closed question. Yes or no. It does not give an option to Jesus. If Jesus answers yes, the crowds hate him. If Jesus answers no, don't pay taxes, Romans will arrest him. In either way, Jesus is trapped, he loses, and the Pharisees win. But it did not happen like that. Understand the type of tax. The tax we are talking about is a poll tax or a head tax. And people were upset about it as they could not see any benefits from this tax to themselves. They were okay with the other type of tax like custom tax, they were okay. This tax added to the coffers of the emperor. So it was like donating a day's wages to the emperor. There was another problem with this tax. It had to be paid using a denarius, which had a Caesar's image on it. Now the Jews consider graven images as idolatrous, and the inscription that Caesar is the Son of God blasphemous. So the issue was deeply religious. What they were really asking was, why should we donate money to the emperor when it is against our own religion? Although the Jews were allowed to mint their own copper coins without the graven images, it was convenient to carry a denarius than a lot of copper coins. A strict Jew would be embarrassed to be found carrying such a denarius with an image of Caesar. So when the Pharisees produced a coin with the image of Caesar, it revealed their hypocrisy. Why carry a coin if your religion forbids it? And that too in the temple, on holy ground. A devout Jew would not carry a coin which his religion forbids, to serve him as a reminder that they were a chosen people called to live according to Jewish laws. Now what's unique about Jesus' answer? Jesus answered, give back to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God. The word give back to Caesar indicates that the coin belongs to the realm of Caesar. The second part of the answer is much more important to understand the real meaning. Give back to God what belongs to God. We are created in the image of God. So we give ourselves back to God. Jesus' answer affirms our greater obligation to God because we are part of God's realm, and God's realm is eternal. Everything else is temporal. Even the reign of Caesar is temporal. In addition, Jesus reminds them about the fundamental Jewish understanding that foreign powers have dominion over Israel because God has permitted it. No wonder the Pharisees marveled at Jesus' answer and they left to prepare for the next round of attack. Thank you for staying with me and watching the entire video. Give me your like, write your comments and share these videos with your friends. And if you can do all these three things, that will be great. Thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Let's promote the gospel. And see you in the next video. God bless you. Amen.